You're watching CoastLife with Leah Rizzo and Charlie Sakaitis.
CoastLife, when was the last time you thought, kind of bored? Has it been a minute, or has it been kind of recently? I find that boredom is not necessarily a bad thing.
It depends. I think that there's an equation that you need.
Yes.
Boredom plus energy equals creativity.
Yes.
But you need the energy part of it. So like a lot of times you can be bored after like a night of work, you get home, you're just flipping through, but you don't have the energy to like do anything. It's almost like you need to be bored long enough to store up a little bit of energy, and then suddenly you get a creative explosion.
I think too that fatigue will kind of overtake boredom, that you're not even bored, you're just so tired that you're like, I can't even muster up the energy to be bored. Because like boredom does take a certain amount of energy where you're like, all right, what should I do? But I feel like an uptick in boredom, or at least people not knowing what to do with it, has been going on for some time. Because my mom used to teach, and she was like, man, kids are not as creative at coming up with like games at recess to play. And she was like, you guys were always coming up with something. And I was like, well, my sibling unit, we were really, one of the things that made our relationship so special is how good we were at coming up with games on the fly. To be like, all right, it's capture the flag plus hide and seek plus tag, go.
Me and my friends did that stuff all the time. We invented different sports. We did all kinds of things. But I think that that is where you see a difference with the technology that we're in right now, the technological age, because everybody has a phone that you can play games on. Everybody has 100 different streaming services that you can watch. So I think people get fringe level bored and do those things to fill the time, as opposed to getting fully bored and having nothing to do and then needing to create.
Because there's the easy way out of boredom, which is, okay, I've got 50 billion options available to me streaming wise. Let me just see what's on there. Like, what can I do? I mean, and like TikTok has been the worst thing for my boredom, because it's just so easy. It is so easy to pick up. It is so easy to start scrolling. I'm not even watching 30-second videos for the full 30 seconds anymore. I'm just doing this so that I don't have to use my brain. But I found that like this weekend was a good mental reset, was a good physical reset. So now when I am bored and the weather's nice, I'm like, I'm gonna go roller skate. Or I picked Pilates back up. So I'm like, I'm trying to, even if I don't necessarily have the mental energy to create something, whether it's painting, because that is more of a mental game than you realize.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I just can't sit down at that desk. Not there yet. Staring at it every day, but I'm not sitting there yet. I'm trying to replace it with sort of physical activity, and that feels, I don't want to say mindless, but I think it does feel like I don't have to be so creative, but still do something with my body.
It gets the blood moving. You get out, you do a thing, you feel good that you did a thing. It's something you can check off a list. You don't get to check anything off on a list when it's just watched 400 TikToks.
So bad. So I've really been trying to put that away. But speaking of boredom, this was a study out of Washington State University that revealed that boredom can boost that creativity and even help manage stress. Researchers found that individuals who handle boredom well show increased brain activity in areas linked to creativity. Engaging in simple tasks like repetitive clicking allowed these individuals to transform monotony into imaginative thinking. They do say, however, constantly turning to social media for quick entertainment might hinder that creative process. Another study suggests that while social media can alleviate immediate boredom, it can prevent that deeper, more meaningful engagement through thought.
And that's why I have that sort of equation there. I think it is boredom plus energy equals creativity. You have to get past that part of whether it's into your weekend or even just after work, where you get recharged a little bit, but then with nothing to do, you have the energy now to go pursue a creative endeavor.
Yeah, and I mean, I do feel that like while I'm scrolling on TikTok, I will see some really creative and inspiring content in that creative department where I'm like, oh, like that's a really cool way to show off a cute aesthetic or like it's really creative. It feels a little bit more like an acting piece, or like there's just a lot of thought and creativity put into it, but it's not the majority of what the content is that I'm consuming.
Well, and it's only creative in terms of if it gets you to then try to go do something yourself. It can be great as an inspiration, but you have to actually take it as an inspiration and get out there and do something.
Yes, and I think because it's just too easy to be like, oh, that was really cool and creative. Maybe I'll do that someday. Scroll, scroll, scroll. So maybe try a little bit harder, put the phone down, be a little bored, see what you come up with today.
Yeah, I like it. I always loved making up games when I was a kid. It sounds like you guys did too.
So much fun, yes. Whether it was an imagination game or something competitive, I mean, honestly, still my parents at like holidays, they're like, why are you guys still like this? And we're like, because you gave us a wrapping paper tube.
Yep.
Well, obviously, we're going to sword fight.
Lightsabers till the end.
Exactly. But we do have some more Coast Life to get to. Let's see what's coming up for the remainder of the show. We know how hard our first responders work to keep us safe, and that's why the 4th annual Rally for First Responders is going down this weekend. We've got the details.
And we've got a segment, we call it the Great Debate. I call it the one-sided Charlie wins debate. That's what's coming up as well.
That's new to me. Also, we're taking a stop to the outlets in Rehoboth, where you can get a little bit of coffee, a little bit of clothing, a great sandwich, all in one shop. All that fun is coming up on Coast Life.